Peace, peace, family. It's your girl, Natasha, your local skincare bae here at Naturally You. Yes, I'm recording, going live, not recording, but going live in my vehicle today. um, so, hey guys, it is Saturday. Happy Saturday, first and foremost. I am in the coffee line, about to grab me a latte, and then I'm gonna go to the park and go for a walk. I got my stretch band. I got my jump rope. Okay, I'm gonna warm up with a walk, do some stretching, do a little jump roping, and then get my workday started. But I wanted to, of course, tap in with my people to talk to y'all. I wasn't able to go live yesterday. I was super, super busy. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I go live today. So if you are here, be sure to hit the like button. Be sure to share this live with those you think could benefit from what I'm about to get into today. But before I get into it, I want to say don't forget to check me out online at naturalucosmetics.com. The link is, I believe, in my bio. I create in small batches all natural skincare products, body creams, body and yoni oils, vegan lip glosses, um, exfoliate scrubs, clear skin tea, which is ginger root, chickweed, and chamomile flower, and other just healing modalities to assist you guys on your self-care and holistic wellness journey. So be sure to check me out online. All right. And for those of you who are just tuning in or will be tuning in later to watch this as the recording, it shall soon become. I appreciate you for being here. Again, hit the like button, subscribe to my page. Thank you guys. So, how often are you guys pouring into your spiritual banks? Did you know that your spiritual bank is just like the bank that you deposit and withdraw money out of? Your spiritual bank needs to constantly be monitored just like a regular bank. Okay? You need to be going through your what I want to say, your statement, your spiritual statement, and just kind of look at it and see where you need to be spending less time, where you need to be spending more time, where you need to be depositing more energetic frequencies. So what I mean by that is, for instance, right? We can get so caught up in our day-to-day life. We can get so caught up in our day-to-day things on what we do that we literally forget to pour into ourselves. We will literally neglect our well-being to get the job done, to go and make a bag, to do whatever, right? And then at the end of the day, you're extremely tired, or at the end of the week, you're extremely tired because you've been running all week long doing X, Y, and Z, right? That may be beneficial to your life in some way, but it's literally been draining you of your energy. You have not been meditating. You have not been going on your walks. You have not been feeding your womb, feeding your guts. You have not been having the healing conversations with the people that you need to be having these healing conversations with. You pretty much just been operating out of a space of just low energy. I don't even want to say lack. I'm going to just say low energy. And what happens when you operate out of low energy is you won't give something your best. When I am well rested, when I have been well rested, when I know I've been pouring into myself, when I know I've been doing what they call the shadow work, the work that you do behind closed doors, the work that no one on social media can see, the work that causes you to journal and cry, that type of spiritual inner work, that type of shadow work. When you have not been actively and intentionally doing that type of work, you're literally just, you're just going day to day. You're just doing it out of autopilot. You're just doing it out of automation. You're literally just living. You're not thriving. Okay? So I want you guys, my new skin village, I need you guys to take the time to pour into yourselves. That's what my whole skincare brand represents. That's what my whole skincare brand is about. Intentionally intentional self-care, intentionally loving on yourself. Our skincare routines are very spiritual, whether you recognize it or not. Everything we do in this physical construct, to some degree, has a spiritual affiliation. Self-development is a spiritual affiliation. Building a business is a spiritual affiliation. Okay, these are things that are going to mirror back to you your reflection. So guys, we got to be mindful, especially mothers, especially fathers. You got to be mindful because we don't have just us to worry about. We got to pour into ourselves. We got to pour into our children, business owners. You got to pour into your vision, into the business that you're building. You got to strategize and pour into your brand. Have y'all been doing y'all altar work? Keeping your altars clean. Wiping your altars down and just making sure that that energetically stays clean and clear. Have you guys been doing like your energy cleansing bath soaks? That's important. Cleansing energy, releasing energy, calling your power back. All of those are ways to pour into your spiritual bank. That's so important. A lot of us are literally operating out of a space of depletion, and that isn't okay because you won't give your best. You won't give your best to your family. You won't give your best to yourself. You won't give your best to your loved ones and to your children. And as selfish as it sounds, pouring into your spiritual bank is about self-preservation. Because in order to be the best mom or the best boss or the best business owner or the best athlete or the best at whatever it is that you do, you got to make sure that you're taking time for rest, release, relaxation, realignment. You got to. And when your spiritual bank is in the negative, guess what happens? You start getting warning signs. What happens when your real bank account goes into the negative, baby? Your bank is calling you, they're sending you statements in the mail, they are waving red flags. Sis, you are in the negative. I'm gonna need you to bring it back to a positive standing. Same thing with our spiritual banks. You cannot be like your best self if you are not truly and intentionally pouring into yourself. Hence why I'm up on my way to the park, about to go get my walk in and get my stretching done. Okay, getting my jump rope in. We got to get out here. We got to get out here. We got to move our bodies. Hello, Marley. We got to get out here. We got to move our bodies. We got to be intentional with our healing work, guys. We got to be very intentional in this walk because it's healthy. It's healthy. You want to take care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, and of course, financially. So you got to just really ask yourself, hey, Z Dodge, heck yeah, got to get that walk in. Hello, hi guys. Remember to breathe on the walk. Ashe, yes, practicing your breath. This rising, actually for the women, you want to do the vacuum where you like suck in your stomach and you hold it and you breathe in and out. That is great for women and to strengthening your core. Okay. Dancing, moving your hips is also another great way. Just being active, just making sure you're being active. Ashe. Hey, Mr. Steven, how are you? But yeah, so just make sure you guys are definitely taking the time to pour into yourselves, pour into your spiritual bank, pour into your higher self, because that's the person that's going to carry you throughout life. You do not just want to be in this physical existence, just existing. You want to live, you want to thrive. You don't just want to exist, you want to thrive. So just make sure that you are taking time to journal if you like to journal. I know that I do. I've been journaling for a while. I love journaling. I love journaling my thoughts. You want to make sure that you are meditating or praying for most of you. You want to make sure that, for me, I have an ancestor altar that I pour into. I make sure that I clean my altar. I make sure that I bring offerings into the altar. I'm lighting my incense and my sage. These are the things that my ancestors like. I have ancestors on my altar who like marijuana. So I will leave money and marijuana. I will leave dishes. I will leave wine, you know? So We have beings, we have ancestors, we have spiritual guides that are helping to keep us protected, that are helping in our provision, in our journey, and providing for us. So your spiritual bank is just as important as a physical bank. You got to make sure you are making deposits in order to make withdrawals. That's one thing too about your spiritual walk is your spirit guides and your ancestors, right? They need to be poured into too. They need to be activated. They need to be energetically poured into because they doing work on the physical and in the spiritual. Baby, they helping you walk your walk in the spiritual and in the physical. So you just want to make sure that you guys are pouring into your spiritual banks and make sure that you're just taking care of yourselves on all levels as best as you can. Just getting the proper rest. Not just drinking water that is nutrient rich, things that are like coconut water and melon water. And I'm sure you guys have heard this a million times across all type of social media platforms from a lot of people, how important fruit is and how important fruit water is and how important all these things are. Thank you so much for the likes, guys. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button and hit the subscribe button as well. This just brings awareness to my page, and it helps people to find out about me and what I do as far as my skincare business. But yeah, that's what my brand pretty much represents. It's skincare for the spiritual girly and guy. It makes you be intentional with taking care of yourself. It makes you be intentional with slowing the fuck down. We're always in go mode. I know I am. I'm in go mode, baby. I'm like, the moment my eyes is up, I'm like, okay. Especially with the sun out, look how beautiful it is. Especially when the sun is out, it energizes me. I love this. So I'm like, listen, before I start any of my work today, I am heading my ass to this park. Okay. I am a huge advocate of like staying fit and being healthy and things of that nature. And I want to say for the past 2 months, I have not been on that. So even though I've created this message and I'm going live, this message is also for me as well. I have not been on my A game how I need to be. Okay, I was working out 5 to 6 times a week. You know what I mean? And I got so engulfed in making money, right? Here I am trying to control the flow, trying to control my magnetization, when naturally I magnetize all abundance, when naturally I magnetize prosperity and opportunities to myself. So this message ain't just for y'all. This message is just for me as well. Baby, we got to make sure that we are being intentional in our walks, intentional in our journeys, intentional with our visions, intentional with pouring into our spiritual banks. I know that I have to pour into mine. Physical fitness, spirituality, these things are just a couple of tools that I have to have in order to live in this construct. If I didn't have some type of spiritual inclination to just want to be better, I'm telling you, living in this existence would be hard. I don't see how people actually live in this physical existence and don't have some type of spiritual routine or physical routine or mental routine that they do to stay sane in this existence. It's crazy. I don't even know how I could exist here without taking the time to pour into my spiritual bank. Absolutely. So we at the 14-minute mark. I ain't gonna talk y'all head off too much longer. I'm about to grab me a latte and then I'm headed to the park. I just wanted to come on and just remind you guys and reassure you guys how important it is to pour into yourselves spiritually, physically, mentally, financially, and emotionally. Okay. However, when you pour into your spiritual bank, this in turn takes care of all of that. Because when you are spiritually inclined, spiritually in tune, spiritually aligned, everything else will follow. The money will follow. The ideas will follow. Okay? The beauty will follow. The self-care will follow. Because being spiritually in tune and spiritually inclined, you're aware of everything. The people you keep, the things you say, the things you eat. You know what I mean? The rest you get or don't get. You're just very aware. So thank you guys for listening to me today. Thank you for tuning into my live. Again, don't forget to hit the like button. hit the subscribe button. Share this with someone who may need to hear it. And also check me out online at naturalcosmetics.com. I create skincare for the spiritual girlies like you. Good afternoon. What can I do for you today? Have a good day. Yes, I would like